just to like get some background where I know you from. I know I met your brother first. I met Scott probably in 92 or 93 because he knew a cartoonist friend of mine.
Okay, well, Kara and I were dating.
Yeah.
And then Kara grew up with Jack and Alan since kindergarten or first grade.
Okay.
And so Kara lived at the Catalina house, which turned into a party house, and I was there all the time. Therefore, Jack would come over, and then I think you would come over with Jack, and I think that's how we all met.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It's like the memories around the Catalina house are
yes,
fuzzy for a reason, but
doing all right.
Yeah,
you know, the daily grind. Yeah. And you're at Google now, huh? Or been there for a long time?
No, I've been gone for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was there for 5 years. And the contract ended October of 2017.
Okay.
So all of last year I was working on an animation.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like just doing visual art, for money. And yeah, now I'm going back to doing graphic design.
Oh, cool.
Because I've run out of options. And I mean, I shouldn't complain because I'm just like, oh, I got to go do graphic design. And it's like, I used to clean possum blood off of cars for a living.
No,
so, yeah, I worked at a car wash.
Oh, there. Okay.
No, I didn't freelance doing that.
Okay. I was going to say, that's worse than picking up dog crap.
Well, I was like, I could work at a car wash. I could be a Walmart greeter. I could be a
I'm
barista.
saving that for retirement.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to work till I drop dead. Which is, I wish that was a joke.
Hey, I hear you. Hey, so I'm looking at you. Or am I supposed to be looking at the stupid green dot? Does it look like I'm looking at you, or does it look...
It looks like you're looking at me.
Okay. All right. I don't use Skype. I got no one to Skype to. I got no friends. Except Alan, and he's even worse on computers than all of us. Alan, if he could still be doing it, he'd have probably a flip phone.
I was thinking just today, if I could do that, I would, because I don't feel like my life has been enriched by smartphones.
Drive to LA, I love it.
Okay.
Directions. I went down there taking pictures, and we were trying to figure out how to get back to the garage because we were just wandering.
Yeah.
On the Google Maps, it had where we parked, and I just hit the little walk guy, and it took us there.
Yeah.
It was like my parents' hand.
The thing is, though, it's like it's just this thing that's this constant temptation in your pocket. Like you don't, because like I don't know. As a creative, I think it's important at times to be bored. Like you just kind of let your mind wander.
Yeah.
And it's not going to do that if you've got your phone there. Like you're going to have something to occupy it that's not necessarily that worthy, but it's not going to let your mind just like wander and make weird little associations.
Yeah. So what is you're doing a podcast, is it?
I'm doing a podcast like every other asshole in America, apparently.
Okay. All right. Well, that works.
Yeah. Nice. So let's do it. So where are you working these days?
I work for an engineering firm in Ventura, still near Pierpont. And I've been there now 10 years.
10 years.
Yep.
And what do you do there?
I do the design, so AutoCAD, Civil 3D, and GIS.
Okay.
And then I go play with fire hydrants out in the field.
What is playing with fire hydrants?
We have to perform fire hydrant flow tests for new projects.
Okay.
To make sure they're up to code. But
okay.
That's when it's a field trip and we actually get out of the office and get away from the computer. So
when did you go back to school for that?
When?
Yeah, for AutoCAD. Because I remember when I left Ventura, it's been
2004.
No, man, I left in
But I went to-
1999. Oh, you.
yeah,
Sorry,
that's I
I
went.
thought we were talking about me.
Yeah.
Because I'm an egoist.
No, that's cool. Yeah, it was 2004 when I took the CAD school,
Okay.
and yeah, I thought surfing was more important than college, so I have like 5 years at junior college, but I never finished. So I just didn't know what I wanted to do. I still haven't figured out what I wanted to do when I grow up. So
we were on a similar college plan.
yeah,
And yeah, when I finally went back in '98, it was just because Scott had told me about like learning Adobe, the
yeah,
Creative Suite, and he's like, if you can learn this, you can get an actual job.
yeah,
And yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, but so
yeah.
you went back to school in 2004 to study AutoCAD, and that was a trade school.
Yeah, yeah, in Ventura.
Okay.
So did that. It was something like a 6 month course. I got done in 4, and then got the job at Jensen
Oh
uh,
wow.
Design and Survey,
Mhm.
and there for 5 years. And then Barney asked me to come to his company, so I went over there to help them, kind of bring them up to modern day times with Civil 3D,
Yeah.
uh, more efficiency, and
Yeah.
so that's where I'm at to this day today.
And so what initially or what ultimately had you settle on doing AutoCAD? Is it because you're a visual person?
I did drafting all through high school,
Uh,
and I just I knew there was jobs out there for it.
yeah.
Was it my passion? No, uh, but it it's provided a home, and we have 2 kids, and we take vacations, not lavish
Right.
vacations, but it's outdoor based, and we all have a good time. So, and I get to take pictures while we're on vacation. So,
There you go.
but it annoys the family because
That you take pictures when you're on vacation, or
I'm the slow one because
oh,
I'm stopping for everything.
huh?
Yeah. So sometimes we don't cover much ground, because I see too many things. So,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, but you're slowing it down so that they can actually drink it all in. They'll
Right?
appreciate this when they're older.
Exactly.
Just like I appreciate everything from my childhood. Oh, wait a minute, I don't. It sucks. Going to a million unair conditioned churches in Texas. Sorry, just not that much of a good time. Any way you cut it.
But you know what? There's probably a lot of stories there that you could put into your comics.
Oh, I'm planning to. Growing up in this like Church of Christ family in Baptist country, which
Nice.
to a normal person doesn't make any sense. You're just like, well, you're all religious crazy people, but like if you're like on one side or the other there, it made a huge difference. And because like we were like this Church of Christ family and we weren't related to everybody in this small town, basically I just got my ass kicked all the time is what it came down to. I put up some resistance, but I'm not a good fighter. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, so yeah, it goes into the work, and there's that other thing of how it builds character.
Yeah.
So I must be full of character at this point.
Oh, you've always been full of it, man.
That has not changed. That has not changed. Just to back up a little bit, when I first met you, you were doing kind of painting. Like I think you're doing watercolors.
I've ran the gamut.
Yeah.
I've done painting, sculpting out of clay. I've done wood carving. I've done multiple types of painting: oil, acrylic, watercolor, and then I was carving gourds, dried gourds, and none of it seemed to like. I enjoyed it all, but the final product, it took a while to get there. And then it was kind of like, okay, what am I going to do with the final product at the end? But my dad was the one that got me into photography, and I've always had a camera. Even in elementary school, I had the little tiny 110. And
Yes.
so when we'd go on vacations, I look back in family photos, and I have my dad's film camera around my neck at Hearst Castle, or up at Big Sur or Big Sur, or Santa Cruz at Surf Spot Steamers Lane. I always had a camera around me, and then when Logan was born in 2004 is when I got my serious digital camera, because I spent a chunk of change on it back then. It was almost $2,000 back in 2004.
Yeah.
But we have 16 photo albums of Logan as a baby because it was different than film. I was able to take as many as I wanted, and then you pay for what you develop.
Yeah.
So, and then I just kind of gradually got into it more, and I always had the camera around me, and then it was kind of more getting serious and doing landscape stuff, and then I've kind of morphed into, I like everything.
Yeah.
Of photography. I like abstract, I like minimalism, I like landscape, I like portrait. It's kind of hard to pick.
Right.
But, I get out and do what I can. So a lot of my stuff for a while with landscape was sunrise or sunset, because I don't mind getting up at 4:30 in the morning to go shoot sunrise before work, or after everything's winded down, run out and grab sunset. But less people get up in the morning, so there wasn't as many people out shooting sunrise and sunset. So.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because, being a parent and everything, being a parent and holding down a job, I noticed that you have these shots that are like early in the morning, and I'm like, that's when I'm getting my best nightmares in. Like, I'm not even thinking about waking up at that point. That's just when I start sweating through the sheets, 4:30 in the morning.
Well, my daughter even makes me wake her up. Even if I'm leaving at 4:35 in the morning, she makes me wake her up. She'll go to our bedroom, peek through the blinds, and wave goodbye to me as I drive off to go take pictures, and then she goes back to bed.
And have you always been an early riser, or is this something that's driven by the art?
Both, but I've always been an early riser.
Okay.
I was the kid that would wake up at 7 or be already up and ready to go at 7 o'clock on Saturday. And my buddy next door, he was still asleep. So I got to go next door. His mom would let me in, and I'd dive bomb him on his bed to wake him up. Let's get the day going.
and he remained friends with you despite this.
To this day.
To this day, wow.
Yeah.
And are you originally from Ventura, or?
No, born in Mesa, Arizona.
Okay.
But we were only there. I wasn't there that long. Then we moved actually to the Bay Area, to San Mateo.
Okay.
And then we were up there for a couple years. And then my dad's work, he was a CPA, transferred him from San Mateo. Wait for it, to Bakersfield. So we were in Bakersfield for 1 year to the day. And then we moved to Ventura, and I've been here since I was 5, so 43 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, was I born here? No.
But I think you can claim native.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Kindergarten to now, to present. Yeah.
You're way more Ventura than I am, and I was born there, but I've been gone for 20 years now. 20 years in October.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
Yeah. There's been 1.5, maybe 2 lives lived in that time. I'll have to tell you some other time. It's just a lot of shit.
Yeah.
So what I've noticed, it seems, and I could be wrong, that the advent of Instagram seemed to kind of kick things into overdrive for you. Is that correct?
It was it was funny. Before, my friends would see my stuff, and you kind of get the, oh, hey, that's cool, and that was kind of where it ended.
Yeah.
But then with Instagram, yeah, it was cool because what I liked is I had people in Finland, seeing stuff, and you kind of even made some relationships and friendships, you know, long distance, and maybe never meet them.
Yeah.
But that was cool. I liked that a lot. And I try to put something up Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a way to force me to keep getting out there, to have content to put up.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been good for that. I mean, it's also kind of a way that I can track my progression, how I kind of because I think I started Instagram in 2014.
That
And
sounds about right.
yeah, and so I look back at what I was doing and where I am today. And I think even when I look back, I was still confused on what direction I was going, because I like everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, they always say, oh, you have to try to make your feed to where everything blends. So it looks like it's supposed to be there. But I think what is supposed to be there is what you like. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to conform to, I guess, what others think it should be.
Right.
If you like my stuff, cool. Then that's okay. I don't know you. But yeah, I think Instagram has its pluses and its minuses.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So the pluses you mentioned, it's like you want to have. I hate the term content. You want to have art up 5 days a week.
Yeah.
So that's a good motivator that keeps you working, that keeps you from being lazy. So that's a positive. What would you say a negative to displaying on Instagram is?
Well, I think it's just like anything, just like surfing. You have a spot and more people find out about it. So then it's not this nice secluded spot anymore. You know, you're seeing it more and more on news feeds that, you know, people aren't respecting certain areas. Like when we had the super bloom with all the poppies.
I was just going to say that.
Yep. They had to shut places down because people weren't respecting. I want to be in the middle of the poppies, so they tromp out in the middle, and you know, it's just gotta be respectful.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's, there's a beauty there that's there for everyone. If you don't respect it, it gets degraded.
Yeah.
You know, if you want your selfie to be the thing, you know, in your feed, comes at a price.
Yes. Yeah, and there has been extreme prices for a lot of these people that like doing extreme photos.
Oh yeah.
We were actually at Yosemite last fall break when that husband-wife couple fell off that one viewpoint, and their tripod and camera was still sitting there, you know. And it's, so, but I am lucky in a sense that I don't like heights, so I'm on the ground. I might slip on something, but it's not a far fall.
Yeah, you'll walk with the cane, but you're not gonna leave in a body bag.
Right. Yeah.
There's something just like, so that almost, if you had that in a movie where this couple falls over and their camera and tripod is still there, people would be like, I don't know, that's a little on the nose. Like,
yeah.
But that's so sad and dark, and it's odd. So in addition to Instagram, is there any place, have you displayed your work in any galleries or museums?
Let's see. Yeah, locally, we have a jewelry store in Ventura that has had a long-standing art showing, Fox Fine Jewelry in Ventura on Main Street, and they constantly have a rotating art show. And it's all, I mean, it might be paintings, it might be charcoal, it might be, you know, mine. It was photography, and I was actually in there with 2 other people.
Okay.
One I knew, the other I hadn't met until we did the show. So that was cool. That was really good exposure. It's very easy to put something on your Instagram. It's a lot different to put it in a gallery and have to stand in front of it. So I get a little more nervous, you know, being in front of my work. It's easier to be behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. It kind of gave me a little taste of that, which, I hadn't really had before. And then I've had my stuff in our visitor center, Visit Ventura downtown. By Ventura College, Rincon Brewery is a new brewery that we have. And they have one in Carpinteria too. But the one that opened in Ventura, when they opened, I got to have my stuff up there. So that was cool. I was one of the first artists to display in Rincon.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I sold a couple, and then they have one of my photos as a permanent collection hung on the wall. So in the Ventura one and the Rincon, or in the Carpinteria one. So
okay,
yeah,
very cool.
Stoked on that. So I've sold things here and there, but I also don't try that hard. It's kind of like,
you got a day job. Like it's
yeah.
that's kind of me with comics and it makes me a terrible salesperson at a show. I'm like, I got a day job, man. I don't need to kiss your ass for your $5.
Yeah, I suck at the sales part of it. My wife's good at pimping me, if that's how it has to be. But I'm not too good.
I'm just trying to imagine like Kara like outside of the gallery just being like, where my money at? Where my money at? You go back in there and get me my money.
Right?
I gotta say it's funny because like, I have a lot of ambivalence about growing up there. Like about being, I left for a reason and I never came back for a reason except to visit. And then like I'll see your photos and I'm just like, man, there's some really great stuff down there. Like, you see it from this different vantage.
Yeah. And, that's kind of the challenge. And that's also where I have a hard time with art, trying to find what separates you from everybody else. What's your style? People say I have a style. I don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just try to maybe put a different way of how they might see something.
Yeah.
Or they might say, I drive by that every day, but I never noticed it until you point it out. So that's kind of cool. You get little comments here and there, but I get satisfaction out of it. So, having to sit at a job where everything has to be really precise, this is, you make your own rules.
Yeah.
So that's the good part about it. But I like to get out if I can. Eastern Sierra, love going up there and taking photos, especially Alabama Hills, which is now a really popular place. But I'd go up there with my dad, which was pretty cool. So good memories there. And I'll go anywhere. I got the time.
What are some other like good? I don't want you to like give away good spots, obviously. But like, have you ever gotten to shoot in Mendocino at all?
No.
Have you been?
I know I was there when I was young.
If you get a chance,
you want to get up that way for a vacation. 5 years in a row, we were going to Santa Cruz just because we enjoyed being able to do everything from go to the ocean and then to the redwoods.
Yeah.
And it was just, we did not get bored.
Yeah. It would be impossible.
Yeah. 5 years in a row, we still hadn't seen everything we wanted to see.
Yeah.
So it's really pretty up there. And, so yeah, I want to get up that way again. So it'd be cool. It's just the whole busyness that you got to get through to get up there, right?
Yeah. That's the thing.
LA, it has so much cool stuff to shoot, but you almost need a beer by the time you get down there at 6 in the morning because your nerves are shot. But then once when you're there, in Ventura, it's pretty open.
Yeah.
and then you get to LA and there's all these tall buildings and you almost feel like you're swallowed up in it.
Yeah.
And it takes you a little bit to get oriented, and then all you want to do is look up because there's so much up there that you haven't seen, and we don't have it in Ventura really. So yeah, it's an hour away. It's not that far.
No.
Yeah, I just gotta go there more often.
Well, it's. I mean, even when I lived down there, it was a real undertaking, like just dealing with that level of traffic.
Yeah.
I do. That is one thing I like access to LA, even though like I didn't love LA.
Mm-hmm.
There are amenities that come with LA, and like one of the things was like going to 4 museums.
Oh yeah.
In like 3-4 hours, and there's amazing shows at 3 of the 4. Like you don't have anything like that here. You've got museums, but they're smaller. You don't have like the amount of population and money that would bring like the bigger shows. Like
this last Saturday, my daughter's in the Scouts, and we were at the LA Natural History Museum.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was rad. It was so cool. But we were cruising around looking at, all the exhibits. Well, I would wander off because the staircase looked cool. So I was taking pictures of the staircase. So, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. And we want to go back to the Science Museum, and we didn't even get to see all the stuff that was in the Natural History Museum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so much old architecture there, and and wacky people, and hey, guess who's home?
Hello, Kara.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good. You're looking good.
So, anyways, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. And are your kids? Do your kids have any of an artistic bent, or?
Logan started to. And then he's more into the video gaming.
Yeah.
And Marley, she's into drawing. She's into comics. She's just now getting into comics. So, and then she does enjoy photography too. So she'll get up with me on a weekend and go take pictures. And she might not want to be out there as long as I do, but she'll have time.
Yeah. I mean, that she'll go at all is really quite something.
Yeah. She doesn't mind waking up at 5 o'clock, or depending on what time of the year it is, if you have to get up earlier to get out there before sunrise. Yeah, she's up for it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good.
And what motivates you to keep going? Like, is it something you can put your finger on? Is it just like, because it seems like the drive has just always been there. You've always just been a creator.
Yeah, it's always been instilled in us. I mean, my mom painted when we were younger. She does quilting now, which, it's not just making a blanket or something. It's really detailed and artistic. So my dad was always into photography. One of my grandpas was a wood carver. So there's always been some form of artistry.
Like a long tradition.
I can't imagine not doing something.
Yeah.
I mean, even though I tried different things, if I look outside and there's an insane sunrise or sunset going off, I get antsy and I gotta go.
Yeah.
So there's just that natural high that I get. And, I don't wear headphones when I'm out taking pictures or anything. It just kind of, I don't know, you just kind of melt into that different place and you're immersed in what you're doing. And I don't need that other added bit to make the time go by.
Yeah.
It's cool how it is.
Yeah.
So, plus I don't need someone sneaking up behind me either.
That's why I don't wear headphones here, because I mean Oakland's always like a top 10 crime city. So I see people with headphones. I'm like, should I go steal that guy's wallet? Like, is this my initiation? Yeah. I was gonna ask you if you've ever seen anything. I don't know. Have you ever seen anything gnarly? like where you're just like, I'm gonna go out and shoot. I'm gonna go shoot a sunset, and oh look, there is like I don't know, a dead body or something.
I actually had a couple instances down at the beach in Ventura, behind the fairgrounds, and then up coming around Gaviota area.
Yeah.
Idiots on the train tracks.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah. And the one down by Hobo Jungle, behind the fairgrounds, 3 kids running across the train tracks. Here's the train is coming. One made it across. The other 2 had to hold on to the rail and lean off the side as it's going by.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And they weren't there taking pictures. They were just screwing around. So there's been that one. And then the one up near Gaviota Beach, there was a bunch of tourists that were on the train tracks with little ones sitting on there getting their photos, and here's the train coming. So it was pretty gut. It kind of takes the fun out of it.
Yeah.
And I was flying my drone downtown early one morning so there'd be no cars around or whatever, and there was a couple meth heads approached me asking me how much my drone was worth. So, hey.
Oh, meth heads.
You're don't.
Oh, and I'm in it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think that's actually a pretty good. That's 38 minutes, 40 minutes.
Cool.
Yeah, perfect. See, that was almost painless.
I didn't have to look at a cheat sheet or nothing.
I've been referring to notes.
Okay.
Here just to give myself a base to go back to.
Nice.
Because otherwise, I think the first time I tried this with Jeff, he had to tell me to stop recording in the middle of it because I mentioned how I'd seen a dead squirrel, and then I went on for about 10 minutes about how dumb squirrels are, and then telling him about all the dead squirrels I've seen over the last couple years. And he's just like, there's something wrong with your brain. Maybe you have some notes. So that's work.
Well, I don't know if I'm the most interesting person, but definitely art's been a passion. So
yeah, no, you spoke very well about what you do.
Cool, it was good catching up too. I hadn't seen you in the last time.
I think it was Jack's 40th birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been like almost 6 years, almost 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be.
No, you came over for a new. Didn't you stop by Allen's for a New Year's? Off Satakoy?
Maybe.
Because I remember Logan asking you if you had any comics that were appropriate for him to read, and you said no.
That's funny because I actually do now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I gotta give me your address or email me your address later, and I'll send you some because I did a comic about Major Taylor, who is a black cyclist. Yeah, that's all ages. That's about the only one. But the other stuff, I do like a lot of history comics these days, and like one of them was about the popes, and like that, as you can imagine, talking about medieval popes, it's definitely not all ages reading. Like it is some rank stuff.
Yeah, I bet.
But I've moved, because I got a kid who's going to be 5 soon. Like,
how's that going?
Having him has been amazing because I mean, like they bring out the best in you. Like I thought I was a person until I had a kid, and I'm just like, oh, I was just a selfish prick. Like,
well, and it's funny too because you think back, what did I do before I had kids? Yeah, because it engulfs your life so much.
Yeah.
And I'm at work. I'm thinking, okay, and it's about the kids, and then I will throw in the selfish me. And like, hey, when can I escape and go take some pictures?
I feel like I spend my time a lot more wisely now because like your time's so much more expensive. So like where I used to, I used to spend a lot of time in a bottle. It's made me a lot more present because they're very present. They are very in the moment, and they bring you into that moment with them.
Yeah.
So it's been amazing, and it's pushed my work into like directions that I've never looked at before. It's maybe a lot less cynical, because they're just genuine. They just are who they are, and like you get to see that through them. you get to have these new experiences through their eyes. So it's been great.
The other thing is it changes how you look, and like, okay, there's certain movies that we don't want to watch anymore if there's kids that, pretty traumatic or whatever. You're just kind of like, no, pass on that one.
Yeah.
There's just so when Barney was having his kids, he kept telling me, "Oh, I'm gonna do everything just like I do now." I said, "Dude, life as you know it is over." But life as you know it is over. It changes. Your priorities change, and that's how it is.
Yeah,
that's the trade-off. But it's a good trade-off.
It's a great trade-off, and man, if parenthood doesn't change you, there's something wrong with you, because it's a huge change. Like, it's a huge thing. Yeah, like I'm sure that there are people out there who have not been changed by parenthood, and those people are mostly addicts, possibly sociopaths, narcissists. Like, there's a personality disorder that would come with like not altering your life. Definitely, like, I don't think you said anything untoward, but I'll give you a pass at it first, like let you listen to it before we release it. And if there's anything you need cut or anything, it's only audio. There's no video.
Oh, okay. How many times I say
Yeah, I'll cut those out. I don't want to know how many times I said like or dude. But yeah, it's only audio, so you totally combed your hair for nothing.
And I cut my beard too.
I'm sure your wife appreciates that though.
Yeah.
She's like, "Hey, where are we going for dinner tonight? You're all spiffy."
Yeah, except I'm in shorts and flip flops. That's a nice thing. I can't see below the chest. Yeah. Hey, if there was something you could use, cool. If not, you won't hurt my feelings if it goes in the then
you'll be like, "Well, that was a 45-minute interview, and he only released 3 minutes of it." I'm just gonna do a super cut of like you saying
Hey, there you go. Or rad. Cool, dude.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man. My pleasure.
I will see you end of September. I'll keep you posted.
All right, yeah. Hit me up.
Cool. All right. Well, give my best to everybody.
Will do.
All right. Take it easy, brother.
And hey, I'll send you my info for a comic book or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Do. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Right on, man.
All right. Later, Fred.
Take it easy.
Okay. Bye.